Hello, my name is Jeff, and this is my contribution to the IU East Readout. This is some work that's done by a poet friend of mine. Her name is Caroline Maun from Wayne State University. This is an excerpt from her book, What Remains. Knickknacks, the pair of little wooden ladybugs dancing. They fall when you press their trapdoor stage, slack joints of elastic. I gave this toy in fun. Let go and they pop right back up again, arm in arm. I should have taken a photo every day for a perpetual slideshow. A real-life zeotrope, singing myself to sleep in its long flickering. Alouette, gentile alouette. The next work here is called Everything's a Memorial. I excavated a card of bobby pins for a friend whose long hair needs tackling. When she pries them open, she may also think of my mother. Mom pin-curled her hair, each nest pinched to her scalp by a crossed wire. She didn't turn as she slept. On her table stood the chromed canister of spray. Mornings, after picking and teasing, the short coils of her hair loosened to frame the shell of her ear, a camouflage of filigree. Here's another work from the same book. Girls, Pictures of My Mom. Actually, Girly Pictures of My Mom. Better title. She's been coaxed out of herself to pose for this early Polaroid moment. My parents were also just a little kinky, and the look on her face said yes. And I like it in spite of those years at the convent. The camera angle said it all indeed. And let's take another one. And can I persuade you to drop that towel? Another work, Older Eyes. I bend the frames as I yank them off and on. Trying to find clarity, the characters keep sliding away. Before my own eyes get weak, I do not understand the tilting of my mother's head when I'd seen her speak this language of focus. Here's another work. Disturbing the Peace, Lake Point and Verner. The skateboards issue mortar fire thunderclaps in the single-minded pursuit of some obscure excellence. The ice cream van prowls slowly, broadcasting Turkey in the Straw, as if I hadn't been a Jim Crow anthem. The beer trucks grind their way to the corner of an addiction store, scattering cats. School children look backwards as they walk towards another day near the end of their year. The widow, guarded by her restless dog, will return a greeting although she initiates nothing. Poets vulnerable to fraud. Here's another word. They ask, has anyone seen the lost poems, the ones that gone missing? They forgot to save a copy. They trusted the website, and awards were won. Work accepted, they paid the author's discount. After being scammed, they report they no longer write so well. Right a click, they affirm the website will be the sole owner. Here's another word, going backwards. When it isn't worth what you owe, stand with it in your hands. Too much trouble to let it go, no love for new plans. When what's owed is more than it's worth, make peace with broken ties. Plant a new crop in old earth, restring the set of chives. Going backwards. Undone, here's another word, undone. Her dark hair trails to her waist. She wears a street-length dress and cape. Of ivory lace her sister made. 6 satin sheathed buttons at the wrists, mink trimming the hood, a winter. Solstice wedding, 67 Montreal. The groom, my father, a week late. She takes him, flawed. The only sign of her emotion is her hair, undone, crinkling from recent braids. Undone. Beauty. Witnesses to the terrible transformations of body, not knowing what was yet to come or what terrible was. Her belly is swelling. She joked with the nurses, "I'm 5 months." Still herself, tired of the hospitals, startle reflects on a sharp trigger from each new surprise. We see a shadow in the film here, a prophylactic shock we did not anticipate. In a moment of untrusted calm, we decided to do her hair. No rinse, shampoo, towels, bobby pins, bristled rollers, brush, and a fierce comb with a pig end. I have done this 100 times, this dressing, collecting the wisps, twirling them on fingers, talking our small talk. I will never get to do this again. And we don't know what yet. The nurses come in to see the procedure. This is what I can do. I fan the dry curls, springy and light, we tease. My mother puts on powder, her signature lipstick. We can hardly believe she is dying. So beautiful, I take a picture. The hole at the bottom of the pool. The pool was aquamarine. I'm going to start over. The hole at the bottom of the pool. The pool was aquamarine serene. Sometimes it was also the belly of a whale, each ditch of grout a rib. Me, Marco Poloing in that microcosm, getting closer or farther away from others voluntarily. Temporarily blind. It was a theater for light, air, and water to dance. Just add motion. Every nearby surface, an array of reflected brightness, or a stage for the fractal elements. In that riot, it was impossible to square cause and effect. Even as stillness, the wind picked up a few waves and threw light on the white stucco. The screen was torn off by a tropical storm years ago, but the scaffolding still sectioned the sky into intriguing cubes. On a dime store raft, I charted the course of clouds. The pool was a perfect exception for the wildlife that wandered in. Toads and small snakes ruffled the quiet skin of the morning water. Set them outside to resume and let the pace reign again. Even the ones that rescued were not a source of grief. If you have a pool, that's how it is. But at the bottom of that pool was a hole, a 3-inch circle of dark portent. To this space of nothing my thoughts returned. Its circumference was the edge of the world, portal to the next. Gravity did not rule. You waited there for something else to wield the net of rescue. Ultimate maternal. That's the next word. I attended the privileged vigil, singing softly the song she sang to lull me to sleep. Those had been long sessions, continuing for years since I was born afraid on the edges of the bed. She would stay singing, and once she was sure, she would return to Dad. The news. She can hear me yet, I believe, beyond morphine's mercy. I sing all I remember. I put Je ne regrette rien on the player and sing with that. I watch her breathing, bet on it tomorrow, ask forgiveness, go and somehow sleep. I woke supernaturally rested into peace, a minute ahead of the call. She had awoken me softly, leaving all the comfort she had. Responsible for her bones. I am responsible for her bones in the dream. She is an eggshell fragile, standing in the tub. Porcelain, anti-cradle. I heard the fall. Many falls, a cascade, each potato in a sack, falling together, individually striking each other to the ground. Too late, my heart shaking its cage, I envelop her in a towel, swiftly lift the shattered mother. Another night, I carry her in a papoose. Another, we try to put her glasses, every pair she wore in her life, back together from the jumble they've become. Where the work is brave, it is also good. Another poem. Where others would drown and sink, the willow thrives. It sets down so many roots like white knuckles. They not only grip the bank, they become the bank. Any twig will propagate. Broken branches on the ground grasp earth, seek moisture, and become tree. It would be an honor to be this tree. Each spring, the willow shakes her hair free, leans into the water's edge, red-winged blackbirds strung about for adornment. Her work is all around her. She is here, working. Ancient medicines distill in her sap and bark. Fables have twisted in the ropes of her leaves. A holy aura scents winds that move through her. Full Circle, another poem. That's the name of the thrift store where I took many of my mother's clothes. I couldn't have named it better myself, although they have their own reasons. Nearly 2 years after she has gone, I again felt very close to her there. The last of my mother's things, a satin burgundy-colored jacket, was in the hands of a lovely woman. Her smile glowed from the good luck. I stood by holding my own finds, thumbing their threads. Maybe the jacket would go to the village grove for a rose, or to Lucy's for the whitefish. Of course, it would be better if it was alive. She must have been extraordinary, another work. He said at the orphan's Christmas party after I told a story or two, yes, but it came out in 2 syllables. Poets are forged in a crucible of pain. I said melodramatically, and then, yes, she was something else. If given an audience with God, she always said she would say what a rotten deal this was. You should be born, aged to about 25, stay that way until you drop dead, quickly at 90 or so. When the time came, she shouldered into the work. My mother squeezed my hand a goodbye. That touched the last thing she'd ever said. Shut her eyes and let go. One cell at a time. Somehow she knew how to take care of this, make it look easy. This is the final work of this. The name is The House is the Mother. Mother is the house. I find the center where all corners meet. Saw open the drywall. Intel her here. Yes, mix her into the grout. Holding me together. Build a wall of mother, bricks of mother. A new roof, some windows. When I'm gone, no one will know what this vase contains. And that's from a book called What Remains by Caroline Maun.